Oh, hey YouTube. Wow, what a day. This is a Friday. We organised a special day to fly because the forecasts look pretty good. Nice high cloud bases. It's meant to be getting blue and it's turning into a ripper. So I didn't even have my GoPro clear memory. I just deleted a big 45-minute flight. So we got 45 minutes to play with of data. We're flying with a few other guys. We're trying to do a 300-kilometre triangle today from the airfield for a club trophy. Great way to warm up the season, get started. So I'm testing out the new satellite view in PureTrack and it's perfect for days like this. We're trying to do a task and we want to see what all the clouds are like up and down where we're trying to task, and the satellite view gives us the perfect view of what is actually happening and where the clouds are building up. Here in New Zealand we have sea breezes coming in and it's great to be able to avoid them, and the satellite view just shows exactly what's happening. So absolute game changer to fly with PureTrack and satellite view from SkySight. Thanks to Matthew Scudder for helping settle this up. You have to have a SkySight subscription to use it, so make sure you use the coupon code PureGlide. Now I better focus on these amazing looking clouds up ahead. We're just bumbling along here without really thinking too much. Then we cruised up the side of the swamp here. The other guys went onto the swamp and got good climbs, and I regretted not doing that to some extent. Although then I got onto this line on the hills and that was good. So, swings and roundabouts. Okay, we're having some fun now. Struggled there for a little bit, got down to 2,000 feet. Back up to 3.5 now in 5 knots. There's sea breeze coming in just from the left there and creating this convergence line over the hills. Lovely. And we just headed up to the top turn point, and this was a pretty easy run. No real dramas. And then what happened? Oh yeah, I kind of got on the wrong side of this. I thought I was in the right place, but I just got lower and lower, and I think the convergence had moved. Here's the top turn point. I turned, and this is coming south again. Then we had to decide, do we go back the way we came, or do we go round the other side of Hamilton airspace? And the clouds look pretty good, and SkySight was showing it looked pretty good on the other side of Hamilton, so we gave it a go that direction. Here we are, tracking past Raglan. Round here I like to be quite cautious. There are not a lot of landings unless you go towards the left there in Hamilton. Here's a wind farm on the right. Again, not many landings around here, so I was topping up at every climb here I could. And I'm editing out the climbs just to make it look like I'm a really good pilot and don't need to stop. You see there I topped up before getting into this Parongia convergence. And there's a bit of breeze coming from the right-hand side there, from the ocean, sea breeze. It's not pushing in very far because there's easterly wind keeping it at bay, and that's creating this line of lift here, which was quite good to run along, and we could have kept going south, but we were trying to do this task, so started veering off to the left in a minute. Here we are heading left past Tikawiti there, I think, on the right, little town, and then getting into these more wispy clouds, and we could see in the distance our target. So I took every little bit I could get to get over there. Well, we're having a fun day, but we had this big blue gap to cross, and this was one of the key climbs we had to get because you can see over here on the hills we've got decent clouds, but we've got to get into the hills, and of course they're higher, so needed a climb to get up into them. And this one is halfway. Couldn't have been more perfect. And it's working pretty well, up to 4,500 feet. So we've got 25 kilometres to get to the turn point still. So a bit of way to go. Beautiful countryside underneath us here. Look at this rolling farmland with streams and forests. Right, we've got to get to our turn point, which is thankfully under these clouds, I think, and then home. And home will be a bit of a challenge. You can see it's very blue to get back home that way. Right, let's go. Never want to push into hills like this low, it's horrible, and you got to get right on into the middle. So basically I need to glide to the other side before I trick in here, and that's an easy glide through to the other side now. And then look at this line here, we could get all the way to get quite a way south on that, but I don't think we've got time today. We need to get back before we run out of clouds and energy and heat to get home. So this was a bit of a relief getting in here and finding that all of this was quite buoyant, but I was trying to find a good climb and just couldn't find one. So I just kept going for a bit, had to stop there to top up and then get into this convergence. It was a pretty flat convergence and quite wide, so it was hard to know where to be exactly. But had a pretty good run along here, didn't lose much height, didn't find any great strong bits either. Did the turn, heading back. Now we knew we had to stop under this thing, find a good climb before we try and trek out into the blue, which is me leaving there. Whew, it's a long way home, so I was trying these little clouds on the way out just to try and get that last little bit. Every 500 feet would matter today. And these clouds I headed for just disintegrated on me. That was annoying. So we let the glider do some gliding and just aimed for these clouds. And it's hard to tell how far away they were, but one trick is to look at the shadows on the ground. That kind of gives away their rough location. And we arrived here with just enough. Well, things are getting a little bit dire here. We're 2,000 feet.
I've got a friend.
We just arrived after that long glide to these clouds, so fingers crossed this will be our climb to get us home. Nice view of the river there beside us and dam. Oh, here we go. Dave's leaving. Oh, that's pretty light. Very light. Should be something good around here. Might be these brown paddocks underneath us here, Dave. Come on, we just want it to last the whole way around. Beautiful glider, Discus 2. Discus 2 and this Ventus C, an older glider, but it's got flaps. They're quite competitive with each other, really. Yeah, brown paddock for the win, eh? Alright, we'll keep climbing here. Alright, we're 300 feet under glide. We've got some good clouds on the way home, so I thought I'd just leave a little bit early with a 1.4 knot McCready.
Have we got a bit of headwind there, Tom?
Hawk says 5 knots headwind. So we gave it a go. These last clouds gave us enough to top up. So no dramas, finished the task at about 1,200 feet overhead the field. And very happy about it. Oscar Papa turning finals 1-0. Well, thanks for watching YouTube. That was a fun day. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. And we'll catch you next time.